course, this is when people decide to mow their lawns. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Keera, and for today's video we're going to be going over 5 of the most haunted dolls, part 2. So if you enjoy the video or you're interested in things like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified whenever I post a new video. And I would like to apologize if you hear any dogs barking or lawnmowers, because it is summer and people just love to start mowing their lawns when you got something to do, like filming. So apologies if you do hear any of that. Like I said previously, for this video we're going to be going over 5 of the most haunted dolls. I have already done a part 1, so I'll attach the link to that video right here if you're interested in that. But anyway, let's get into 5 of the most haunted dolls. Starting off our list, we have Ukiku. So upon first look, it seems just like a children's doll, but it has become an object of awe and mystery because people claim the doll's hair grows. As the story goes, a young man purchased the doll sometime around 1918 in Japan as a gift for his younger sister named Ukiku. Tragically, after a year, the little girl passed away from yellow fever and died with the doll still in her arms. She was only 3 years old. The family wanted to bury the doll with the girl, but they were not allowed, so they created a shrine in her memory, placing the large doll on display. And that is when all the weird and unexplainable things started to happen. One of the first things they noticed about the doll was its hair. One of the caretakers of the doll stated, one day the family started to notice that the doll's hair was getting longer, once a traditional shoulder-length cut with neat ends. It was now a mangled mess of split ends reaching past her waist. It was scruffy, different colors, and felt different. It is also said at night they began to dream of Ukiku, and sometimes the doll would even appear next to their bedside once they woke up. The paranormal activity kept getting worse as it got closer to the little girl's birthday and the 1-year mark of her death. Lights flickering on and off, bangs inside the house, noises, and strange voices. Eventually, shamans and spiritual leaders concurred that their daughter's soul was in fact trapped inside of the doll. The doll then took on the girl's name, Ukiku. When the family moved in 1938, they entrusted the doll's care to the Maji Temple in Hokkaido, where the caregivers continued to maintain Ukiku's ever-growing hair. And it is said the priest sent out a cut sample of the doll's hair to be analyzed. And apparently, scientific examination of Ukiku's hair proved that the hair is actually from a human child, which just gives you goosebumps thinking about it, because how is it even possible? So more recently, there are claims that the mouth of Ukiku is slowly opening. And if you want to, or you dare to look inside Ukiku's mouth, you may be able to see little baby teeth sprouting like weeds from the porcelain gums of the doll. It is said she still invades dreams from her caretakers, the priests, and anybody who chooses to lay their eyes upon Ukiku. And when she is stronger and there is a bunch of paranormal activity that is occurring, her hair tends to grow even faster. So for number 2 on our list, we're going to be talking about Lily. What we know so far is not much is known about Lily. There's barely any articles, videos, or people talking about her. We only know what Zach Bagans from Ghost Adventures has shared with us. Now residing in Zach Bagans' Haunted Museum, Lily was made during the 1800s in Germany. And the creepy thing about Lily is that her hair is actual real human hair. She was discovered in an old antique chest by an antiques dealer, who eventually took her home, but began having reoccurring nightmares of a little girl who was in a very bad accident. The dreams were so graphic and disturbing, she never wanted to talk about them. And due to the terrifying nightmares, Lily was put up for sale at the antique shop. On one occasion, a customer's little girl spoke to the doll for 3 hours, interacting with her as if the doll was an actual child. She informed everybody in the shop that the doll or spirit's name was Lily, along with that the little girl had endured extreme violence. When encountering the doll for the first time, Zach Bagans reported feeling an immense energy radiating from the figurine. The woman working at the antique shop that day was happy to see Lily go, and was badly affected by touching to remove the doll from its case. She became pale, flush, and kept repeating the phrase, "I must wash my hands, I must wash my hands," and then proceeded to have extremely sharp pains in her stomach to the point where she couldn't even move. Like I said before, she has real human hair, and it is said her eyes are dark and cold. Zach Bagans has also claimed that he has captured a full apparition of a child standing behind Lily on a full spectrum photo in the Haunted Museum. For number 3, we are going to be talking about Letta. People say Letta is short for Letta Me Out, which sounds crazy, I know, but you will understand as we continue. So it is truly one of the scariest dolls you will ever see. No offense to Letta. He was given the name Letta or Letta because of his European gypsy heritage. Or because the doll occasionally screams, "Letta me out." Letta is a child-sized figurine that is a 200-year-old wooden doll that once again has human hair. He was discovered underneath a house in Australia by his current caretaker, Kerry Walton. Walton stated, "I reckon he walks in the nighttime. We came in here as a new house and I've never heard so many strange things in my life." He has found scuff marks on the floor of his house, as well as objects mysteriously shifting. Walton's children also complain of nightmares. One night, they woke up screaming that Letta was moving around and talking on its own. Dogs also become extremely aggressive when near the doll, while guests claim to see the doll move, and it is said the doll has been seen moving during a few interviews. Walton tried to sell Letta at one point, but it didn't go as planned. They discovered they physically could not get him out of the car. Walton has brought Letta with him to multiple television interviews and has started an Instagram dedicated to the doll. Walton still says that the paranormal stuff that has happened is still occurring to this day. For number 4 on our list, we have the Haunted Gang. Most haunted dolls are dumped by their owners when they start behaving badly and or terrorizing people with paranormal attacks. But the owner of these 8 terrifying dolls bought this collection because they were said to be possessed, which isn't something that should be taken lightly. In an attic of a home in Pennsylvania is where the 8 dolls reside. The dolls are named Crystal, Monica, Charla, True, Isaac, Lily, Cameron, and Ashley. The owners had a camera, so they decided to set up a live feed so they could constantly record the dolls and other parts of their house. People tune in and watch this live stream, and I can say it isn't always so quiet. From small movements, claims of unexplained sounds, and malfunctions with the camera or the feed, along with people just getting a really eerie feeling while they watch the dolls. In 2009, one camera appeared to have captured something unexplainable. A ghostly boy appeared at the bottom of the staircase, but many people didn't think that this was a little boy's spirit. Many assumed that it was some type of demon presenting itself as a little boy in the doorway, as a tactic to draw people in, to make itself appear friendly. So number 5, last on our list, we have Ruby the Haunted Doll. Like a few of the dolls we've talked about today, Ruby could never stay in one place at a time. It is said if you pick Ruby up, it induces the feeling of sadness and nausea. According to her former owners, it is said Ruby was passed down from generation to generation. The doll's origin traces back many years ago to a young family relative who is said to have passed away while clutching or holding on to the doll. After the passing, it is said that Ruby could never stay in one spot after that point. Ruby spent decades in attics and basements because the owners were too uncomfortable to keep the doll on display. People over the years have stated that when you pick up Ruby, you get this overwhelming feeling of sadness and nausea, like I said previously. And they also said that they found the doll in different rooms of the house, no matter what building they were in. After jumping between different family members because nobody wanted her, Ruby is now at the Traveling Museum of the Paranormal and the Occult. People can go see Ruby, and those who have experienced the overwhelming sadness they feel from the doll. It is a very sad story behind Ruby, and would explain why there's so much sadness that just comes from the doll, but the nausea part isn't explained. So that concludes the video of 5 of the most haunted dolls. If you like a part 3 and you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button. Also, leave a comment. Have you heard about these dolls? Have you visited any of them? Or is there any dolls that aren't talked about enough that you would love to see a video on? So anyway, have a good morning, evening, or night, depending when you're watching this. And remember, keep an extra close eye on your dolls tonight, because they might be running around the house. And would you notice? Okay, bye guys!